All right, good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. We are live Monday, November 3rd. Brand new trading week, brand new month. Let's get it. That signal that I gave you guys on Friday, or that I left you guys off on Friday, the setup on the NQ, that one just hit the 26,254. A little dicey, obviously. I think we missed our stop there by maybe a point, a couple ticks. But slammed TP1 and TP2 very, very quickly on that trade. That was a big spike up there on the NQ. So let's clean off that chart. I was not able to take it. I was actually I was getting my kids ready. I should say one of my kids that was giving me the business this morning. Got one. I got my youngest that is the toughest one to get out of bed and to get to school. All right, let's take a look and see what kind of setups here we can map out. First of all, good morning, Spence. Morning, Mike. I know that was a tough one, man. I saw that it. I think it tapped you in on the NQ the first time, and then obviously on the second time. But I think on the micros, you're saying that it missed by like a tick on the first initial entry. Market's ripping. It's ripping here. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got on the NQ. Let's jump over to the 15. All right, so we got a pocket that was left here by that nice little push. I've got a pocket down here that we're gonna have to take a look at, but not super clean. See a lot of pullbacks into that volume area to balance it out, and then we got another one. Well, we got some decent movements here. All right, let's see. Let's jump down to the 5 and let's see what we got. All right, we got a little spot right here. Looks kind of interesting. This is still unbalanced. As you guys can see, these sweeps that we see on the candles, I know this is the 15, but if you drop down to the 5 and the 10, or the 5 and the 1, you'll see multiple kind of touches back into this volume pocket here. So that's an area that's already been balanced out, and it's not really very interesting to me at that point. Time is it? 9:35, so about 5 minutes into the open. I'd like to see this setup here play out maybe 10 or 12 minutes after the open. So we'll see. All right, so I like an entry at the 26,148.50. TP1 looks pretty inviting. At the what is that? Let me put this up here a little bit. 26,156 for a TP1. And then TP2 at the 26,160. And then our stop sitting at the 26,138.75. All right, let me jump down here. Let's go down to the 1 minute. All right, so this first setup I'm mapping out on the NQ along at the 26,148.50, 26,148.50, targeting 26,156.75, and then the 160s with the stop loss sitting at the 26,138. Now let's see how how's volume stacking up there. Okay, the volume's stacking up right at the 50s. Okay, kind of like that. We got some protection at the 140s, which is really damn close to my stop. But let's just see as price action starts kind of making its way down to this entry. Let's see if they start stepping in here. I'd like to see them step in around the 145s, 146. Would make this trade in pretty much an A+ setup at that point. Again, I'd like to see maybe about 3-5 more minutes before us tapping into that entry, but sometimes we just don't have that luxury. Let's take a look on the ES now. ES looks very congested right now. Very congested in all of this. They balanced everything out here. Right now, this down here, we've got to go ways down, huh? All right, so I got time to map that one out on the ES. Let's continue to look at the NQ. Anna Dora, good morning. Nordic, good morning. Ram, good morning. All right, let's see how where they're coming in at. Right now, they're stepping in at the 150s, and they're stepping in at the 140s. That 140s looks very close to our stop. What I'd be hoping here is for them to balance out this volume at the 150s with just kind of a clean tap into the 148.50s. This could either be a very, very low drawdown trade, or they can stretch for that 140s, which in that situation, our stops kind of become unprotected. Now, looking at the volume profile here, your stop would be probably a little better protected right down here at the 136s, but then you're looking at, well, about 12 points. Not the worst. Not the worst. I think I might make that call here. Let's bump this up to the 50s. All right, so a little slight adjustment there on the stop loss, just kind of help using the volume profile to help us out with a little bit of a buffer or a level of defense between our entry and our stop. So 155s, we'll see it dancing around TP1. And then again, it's going to probably want to sweep the 150s and hopefully enough for for it to sweep into the 148s. And like I said, I'd like the 145s to come in a little bit stronger, which right now they're not. Hey, Anthony, good morning. So getting a little bit more aggressive here on the NQ for myself personally. I don't normally like to trade with resting limit orders, but just the theme of October was a lot of missed really nice trades on the NQ for myself personally. Not having that resting limit order. Obviously, now that I do it, could be against me, but that's the risk we take. And then let's see what are they leaving unbalanced here? I'd like them to step in a little bit stronger here. So again, It'll probably dance a little bit here at the 156, and then it'll probably make a sweep right down to the 150s, and I'm hoping on that sweep we get a tag in of our entry. We're at about the 12-minute buffer, so as far as time frame on this trade, not bad. All right, so there's the dance. There's a rejection. Now I'd like to see a sweep of the 150. %, normal, exactly what I was thinking that was going to happen. We still got another pocket below us that we got to map out, but let's see what happens here. So Random Barbarian, my signals, those are pretty much given out throughout the entire day. So, I mean, like, obviously when we're off of stream, but the same setups that I'm finding on stream are the same signals that I'm giving into my signal group. But obviously after the stream's over early in the morning, you just have that benefit of, like, for instance, on Friday, we took, I gave a signal a couple hours after stream that, that hit TP1 and TP2 with pretty much zero drawdown. I don't even think there was a tick of drawdown, maybe a tick. So that's just the main, I mean, the trading style and the setups are the exact same, but it's beyond that 2-hour window of the stream. I don't like that the 145s are not stepping in very strong. I'd like to see, in the 140s kind of gave up a little bit. I think based on that, I might wait for a footprint confirmation now. I just don't have a lot of defense below me. That's the only problem that I'm currently seeing. I might regret that. I might regret that decision there, but we'll see. Nordic, not looking at anything right now in the ES. Personally, we're in a very balanced area of the ES, so just be very careful in there right now. It's less than a coin flip. Okay, 140 stepped right back in. That I kind of like. I like now that they stepped in there. All right. So again, right at that IB low, there's going to be some balancing out of volume. So expect there to be a little fight there And then that 150, 149 area is their next pocket. But I do like that they are coming in at the 140s again. So this trade to me right now looks pretty good. Nordic, it's actually a combination of all three. So I'm looking for the impulsive move that creates my level. And that right there typically is going to be an unbalanced volume area. And then you start getting confirmation from level 2 bookmap as far as their interest at that level. And then you have to adjust. You adjust a little bit with the volume profile to make things kind of fit. And remember, on your volume profile, your strongest one's going to come from your 15 or your hour time frame. So like right now on the 1 minute, this volume profiles doesn't look like the perfect setup. But if you guys saw it on the 15, it looked much better. They are picking up a lot right here. They are picking up a lot right here. I'm going to jump back to my footprint confirmation play. So remember, this is big pocket right here. What I'm hoping for is that sweep to the 150s, tagging us in at the 148.50. Hopefully very little drawdown. Let's see what happens, see how it plays out here. A lot of negative delta, big absorption there. No footprint confirmation yet. Did not get the confirmation. That was bad. That was a bad trade. Bad trade. If I say so myself. Don't like that at all. Don't like that entry whatsoever. That was terrible, terrible trade management there. Terrible. All right, they just popped that. Didn't get my footprint confirmation. Would have probably got my TP1 on the limit order. That was terrible. That was junky. Junky. Yeah. I should have left my limit order in. It came in so quick. That sweep came in so damn quick. So TP1 would have been hit right there. Ah, bless it. Rob. Oh, what a bad way to start the morning. All right, now we got to take a look at this secondary pocket we've got down here. Oh, I'm not happy about that at all. Welcome November. Welcome November. trade. That was terrible trade management there. That one stung. All right. On this secondary setup we've got here on the NQ, along at the 26033.75, targeting the 26039, and then the 26042. Stop loss at the 26026. Entry 26033.75. TP1 26039, TP2 26042, stop loss 26026. Get rid of this guy. All right, I gotta let that trade mentally go. Kind of an ugly pocket right up here, but they did just finally break structure, so I'm interested in here on the unbalanced volume. Well, I'll see if there's any unbalanced volume that they left. TP on this one looks pretty nasty. Tiny. Best we could do there. It's not. All right, to the top side, TP1 I know looks really bad, but it's what I see. 26202 as an entry, short to the 26197. TP2 at the 26190. We're gonna have a little bit of interference here on TP, getting from TP1 to TP2. So we wouldn't be surprised if TP1 comes quick, a retest, and then to knock out your TP2. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we got somewhat of a game plan. See if I can stretch these out so both of them show up on the screen. I think that was probably the worst trade I've taken in about 2 months, to be honest with you. Just poorly executed. Did not get the footprint confirmation. And thought I saw it and didn't see it. Limit order is what I thought I should have gone in with, and I didn't. I paid for it. All right. I had to listen to some music on my beats. Typically on a trade like that poorly executed for me, it's usually a couple of laps around the cul-de-sac on a walk. That's my MO. But I don't have that luxury with the stream right now, so, and I don't have music. I know you guys have music on stream, but I have no way of actually listening into it. But I think I mentally got it out of my head. All right, ES, what are you doing here? Let's take a look at the ES. So yes, we do have a nice move that did break structure, but I would like to see it break in the 6840s for me to start looking at anything up here. And then we had a pocket below us. Doesn't really look that pretty on the volume profile though. Let's see what's going on here. This is a very interesting area on the ES. Does not fit super nice on the volume profile though. But there is 2-3 setups that you could even find within this pocket. But what's the high probability play? I don't necessarily. There you're catching, yeah, the peak here, but you've got a free fall to stop loss. I don't like that. And then I would say you've got another pocket right here. I don't like it. I don't like it on the volume profile right now. All right, that was a nice little move now by the ES and the NQ. They tapped in right there. Let me just see what's going on up here. Well, they left a lot right here. How's this showing up on level 2, 69? Sure, the 69s are going to be defended. But what I'm seeing is the 6901s. Let's see. Nothing too crazy yet. All right, so right now I'm going to be looking at the 6901 to the 04s. Obviously, the 6900s are usually defended pretty well, but that's not necessarily the play that I'm just looking at. I'd like to see them maybe break some more structure to the downside around those 6844s. This looks interesting on the ES right now. This looks very interesting on the ES. Let's see what we got here. I like it on the volume profile. Did we almost just sweep that? I think we might have. Ah, that was news. No, not news. This was the gap. This is the Sunday gap right here, originating from right here. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. That's why I did not have that marked off. Not doing much. Morning, Megan. Well, Morgan, the setup was the setup I had mapped out. I had mapped out a long on the NQ, and I was convinced to take a limit order off of it, and I kind of talked myself out of it right at the last minute. And with the resting limit order, you would have got your TP1. Probably would have got 10 points on that trade. Thought I saw footprint confirmation. There was not one there. Got in very late, probably 4 or 5 points over my entry, and the rest was history. On the ES, the only thing that looks decent to me right now is this pocket of unbalanced volume sitting between the 6901s and the 04s. How do the 51s look? Okay. That's interesting. A little bit of a lower probability setup just because I'm grabbing this on the lower time frame, very low. 68.51. 50s are defended really nicely. Just kind of coincide nicely with that trade. It is a possibility right now. It is a possibility right here. So what I'm seeing on the ES, kind of a lower probability right now. I would say a B setup, just because I had to really kind of go down to the lower time frame on this one, and I actually like to start the other way around. But 68.51 and a quarter, targeting the 68. It's a huge ass target. 7 points, man. That was a big move, though. It's kind of crazy. That's what I see. It's a big target. I'm going to leave the target there as it is. You know, as we come down, I might have to adjust this TP1 just a little bit. That's a big sucker, man. That's a big, big sucker. But it's what I currently see on the ES. Let's see what the NQ is doing. kind of sitting in that lower initial IB region. Probably going to want to make its way up back to the mid of this opening range, which puts it pretty close to this this setup at the 26,202. Really small trade though. All right, so let's see what the NQ is looking for. It's looking at the 180s right now. So this is an area they're interested in. And they're very interested at the 26,200s. This ES trade, another thing I'm thinking about too is this was a lot of overnight action here too. This wasn't regular market hours, so that might be why it looks pretty unbalanced on my chart. I just don't know if the market's going to have the same interest. The 50s are defended really nicely. All right, I'll keep this one up. I was just reading some of the headlines. The Fed's Gillespie, consumer spending is a key driver of economic momentum. Yeah, that's not a big deal. I am nervous about the inflation side of the ledger. The economy has been pretty strong with weakness in specific sectors. PMI. ISM PMI came in a little lower, but manufacturing came in a little stronger. That's interesting. Looks like this ES trade and the NQ trade might coincide with each other. Amazon inks a $38 billion deal with OpenAI to supply NVIDIA chips. It's interesting little headline there on for the NAS. And we're getting pretty close to spotting some areas off of this level right here. I'd like to see a little bit more strength to the downside though. Apex came out with a deal yesterday, 70% off all evaluations, and then $40 lifetime PA activation fees, which is pretty damn cheap. They state it's their lowest cost of entry deal that they've ever run. I think that's till the 5th of November. As far as funding ticks, there went to 35% off for new customers. 20% off for existing customers. Tradeify is at 30% off just until November 14th. Everybody's got rules, man. I don't like that little consolidation on the NQ there. I kind of negated that that level that I was looking at. So Scott, yeah, on my Discord, I use that. I use what the hell's the name? TradingView. Sorry, I use TradingView to chart out my levels that I put on Discord, just to kind of keep my screen clean on my NinjaTrader. So everything I'm doing after 7:30 is all real time. I mean, I'm mapping things out in real time. And the levels guys in the morning, said this a few times. Let's pop this up here. So the levels in the morning, like these are the NQ levels for this morning. These are not correlated with volume, unbalanced areas. These are just the strictly the 15 and the 5-minute levels that I find in the market at 7:30 in the morning. So, you know, there's there's a way to trade those by then correlating them to the volume profile and doing, you know, what we do here every single day to find the levels that are actually going to create the trade setups that we take here every day. Like I've given this roadmap a bunch of times, but the best way is to first learn how to just map out the straight levels, like what I do every single morning, the 5 and the 15, and compare those levels that you're mapping out with the ones that I map out in the morning. Once you've got that, just throw your volume profile up on screen. Start to see which levels coincide nicely with the volume profile. And then if you have the ability to have some of the tools that I use for volume, including level 2, my footprint, that's how you really start to hone in on the entry. And then as far as TP 1s and 2s and stop losses, you almost need to reverse engineer what you just did for your entry, reverse engineer it for your TPs and your stop loss. So refine down to the lower time frame, find areas that broke structure, that gave you a level, that broke structure on the lower time frame, and you will start to find very, very similar setups to what I am coming up with here every day. Do have a pretty strong sell-off, so that is in the back of my mind. It's a big TP on this one, though. Really big. Much bigger than what I'm typically would map out. But it is what it's showing me. They got to get through the 60s, so like I said, I mean, there's a reason why the 60s are going to see... They're going to see some resistance. There's going to be a big fight here at the 60s. It's not a coincidence. Again, it's all based on where they need to balance out volume. Which they're going through decent. I would say that's a little lighter on... was 94 contracts they just absorbed. Pretty strong move to the downside. So it looks like this NQ, I mean, you're going to almost be able to take your pick here on which of the two you might want to trade. Or you get into both, I don't know. The 33s. Not very strong. The 27s. I would say this setup looks weaker than the ES setup. They're coming in. I really don't like where they're coming in either on this one. .33s, not very strong. The 26s, which is where my stop loss. I'm gonna turn this guy over to white. There's very low probability C- trade right here on this guy. Might work out, but I would be more interested in the ES right now. There you go. There was a tap in on the NQ. You would have got TP1. Might be one of those kind of days for me. You see it clearly and you still, there you go. TP1 and TP2 on the NQ. Oh man, this is getting... Oh! So this is a day that you see the setups clearly, but not the actual trades. How the 50 is looking. All right, pretty strong. Wow, big pocket there. I'd like to see one more dip here into the 51s. I'd like to, I don't mind it going down to the 49.50s. Worst case scenario, but nothing less than that. And I definitely do not want it balancing out the 58s. Come on, go down to the entry right here. A little more. A little more. Come on. Tap into those 50s if you have to. A lot of negative delta here. That would have been a good one there. Let's see. Tap into, okay, I think it got it pretty close to the 50s there. Did get a footprint confirmation right here. All right, let's see what we can do here. So 45s are defended. Might actually take it down to like the 43.25 for my stop. The 45s are defended, the 46s. So hopefully we'll see maybe here if we can get even a secondary entry here. Wouldn't be the... Did I miss anything there? No. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. NQ and the ES are both selling off, so I could be in a pickle here. But if there'd be an area for a nice little pullback on this retracement, it would be here. There was a confirmation candle. It was, where'd she go? Right here. No. Right here. Green, negative delta. Maybe not the best in the world, but not the worst. Let's go down to the 1. We're still stuck on the 15. All right, see how this trade plays out here. All right, so what I'm seeing right now is a lot of defense at the 57s. 57.50. That's going to be an area that they're going to want to probably tap into. This is all pretty unbalanced, though, so I don't know. Nice wall still formed at the 50s, so I like that. Take this down to the 50s right there. Let's see what happens. Still some pretty good selling pressure, but the buyers are holding up. Big absorption there, actually, right there by the sellers. So we'll see what they want to tap into here. Looks like they're going to tap into the 50s again to retest there. So might make me sweat on this trade a little bit. I'd say at the best we were probably just 2 points in profit. We're like stuck in a wedge. So kind of a coin flip here to hit our TP, but we'll see. All right, so that was the first tap. They still got a good supply at the 68.57 50s. I'd like to see them tap into that before testing the 52s and 50s, which is a big possibility here. Overall, all right, nicely done. Nicely done. TP1. That is a way to bounce back. That is a way to bounce back. Let's go. And take the TP2, because I know you needed that. Take it. Take it. There you go. TP1 and TP2. That's a 10-point look on a setup on the ES. That played out almost to perfection. Let's go. Give me a like on the stream, guys. I appreciate it very much. Morning, Nate. Thanks, Random. Good job, Mike. That's a big trade, man. That's a big boy trade right there. And I very easily could have changed this TP1 to something a lot more conservative, but this is what they needed to balance. Thanks, Nordic. Good job, Morgan. Let's go. And TP1 and TP2 on that NQ setup that I also had mapped out. Didn't look the greatest. The ES to me looked better, but 1 and 2 for me. Nice job. Nice job. Nice job. All right, we got IB set. I didn't even. Oh, did we miss the IB trade? Where did IB go? Shit. Looked like a rejection right there. No. Let me just take a look. Let me jump over to the NQ. Let's see what happens here on this retest of IB low. I have it on my Damn, that was a good footprint confirmation on the IB low, too. Dang it. Didn't have my indicator up on my footprint chart, though. I don't know where the hell it went. I wouldn't mind taking this short for... this short for 15 points. I can tell you right now is a really good play. Really good play. Or maybe not. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Where the hell did my indicator go? I usually have the IB high and low on my footprint. I do like the short here. Let's see if I got time to... So what are you running there already? About 6 points, maybe 8 points of drawdown if that was a trade there. I saw a good footprint confirmation. Let's go. I'll get rid of this, guys, in a second. I just want to take a screenshot of it. That was a beaut. That was a beaut. Oh, you probably heard that. Let's see what happens here. I'm short on my Iron Beam account, my cash account, 4 micros on that IB low. Which looks like it's going to retest again. Negative 46, negative 50. And we almost hit TP too. I almost hit TP on that one. Looks like I might get knocked out of this IB trade. Some strength now, huh? Good job, Top Step, Randy. Took it for 22 points? Holy smokes. Yeah, we had a nice little rejection there. I think it's going to blow me up. Let's see if I can get my IB indicator up here on my footprint. I don't know what happened there. I gotta go to indicators. Oh, what is that? Where did it go? Come on, NQ, just take a little dump here. Take a little dump, please. Little dump, little dump. Should I get out with a profit? That'd be a good way to start November. Let's keep it in there. Let's see if we get the 15 points here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh, so close. So close. Come on. One little push here. There you go. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. Good start to the November. All right, let me get rid of this guy. I'm going to have to probably jump down to the, I think, maybe 1 minute. That'll show it nicely. So many freaking lines here now. That's kind of ugly. It's an ugly way to look at it. Why do I have two lines here? Is this my IB? Probably is. Oh, I don't know. Sorry guys, I know I'm just talking to myself right now, but just bear with me. All right, now we can get rid of this, this. Oh yeah, that is the IB low. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, I think we got another area right here, guys, on the NQ I got to take a look at. Wow, that ES. I mean, I even said it. I mean, if this is the area for it to reverse out of, that was a move, man. That was a move. Yeah, 23 points. All right, I guess I can get rid of this guy. You did me well. I appreciate you. All right, let me map out this slower spot that we got. I like it on the volume profile. Looks pretty juicy. Hard to know what's gonna V reverse out of there like that. Yeah. All right, let's see what I see. Let's see what I see. I'm freezing. Do 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 do. This doesn't look so hot. Where are the retouches? Oh, this is the origination of that. No, it doesn't. It's not the origination of the gap. Why does this look so complicated? Here's the retouch. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I don't like this gap origination. It could very easily see a reaction there. But you'd be looking at like 5 points of TP on TP1. So, not the best. Not the best. You can see the volume spike right there. That's the gap. I just don't like my defense. I don't like the defense at all. So currently, the only thing we got left, I think we've had 3 setups today. All 3 for winners. 1 for TP1, 2 of them for TP1 and 2. 2 on the NQ, 1 on the ES. The only thing I got right now is a short at the 26,202, targeting the 197. Left. Did I play this IB trade all wrong? Now I'm really... I did not see the indicator on my footprint chart. Let me go to Phil's. I sold... Oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm an absolute moron. I am a moron. Well, I'll tell you right now, I randomly made $120 on an absolute stupid trade. That made no sense. That made absolutely zero sense. I'm surprised nobody was like, "What the hell are you? What the hell are you talking about?" I mean, when I was hoping for it to go down. So the IB indicator is right on my footprint chart. You dummy. All right, I need a breather. Be right back. All right, I'm back. I had to turn the furnace back on because I am an icicle down here. I gotta get this space heater down here somewhere. All right. Well, what are we sitting in? Where are we sitting at? Let's see. Nothing here. Rob, do you mark up the entries only if volume balance is left behind? With yeah, absolutely. It's the name of the game. Name of the game. Let's take a look at the ES now. What did I like about this area? What was so special here? Oh, it was a big move. It was a big move originating from here. Just don't like these. I don't like these. You could just tell with the candles when they balance out volume before they make the impulsive move, which starts to degrade the setup. But it doesn't look terrible. Let's see, what's this at? 6901. Let's see what's going on. Can't see that far. Who's in profit for the day? I mean, shit, with just some resting limit orders on all three of the trades, you would have been a lot better than me. A lot better than me. But I'm happy with that bounce back on that ES. That ES setup was just beauty. Yeah, they're not defending the... Oh, I just cannot see. 69,102. Up 2,300. Nice job, man. Good job, Scott. Good job, Spence. Hopefully you don't mind me calling you Spence. One of my son's best friends' name is Spencer. We always call him Spence, so that's why it just comes out naturally. Good job, Nelson. 16 points. That's a nice one. That was a nice one. Well, if I ever piss anybody off, just let me know. This month. Go get it, Steve. Steve Futures. So, programming note for the stream. There will not be a live stream on Friday. As I mentioned to you guys about a week ago, I'll be up in right by Naples in Bonita Beach for a golf trip. Starts, so I leave like Thursday afternoon, so we'll have the stream on Thursday. And so I'll be in that Naples area till Sunday. And then Sunday, I'm going to rent a car, drive to my place in Deerfield Beach. And then I'm going to test out the stream live there for 2 days. Hopefully work out all the kinks, because during winter break, I'll be down in Florida for about 2 weeks. So I just want to make sure everything is set up nicely. Big absorption there on the by sellers. This is a pretty interesting area for them. And then they're going to probably want to come attack. They're going to want to come attack the 80s. It's golden. Good job, Top Step Randy. I won't do that. I promise. So not bad. 60, 50, 110, and 1. What's the P&L here? Count detail. 120. 230 cash. That's not bad. That's not bad for today. Especially from where we started. And that ridiculous entry I took, but it's okay. So we're kind of sitting in no man's land here. I marked short 68.81. 68.81. Let's see here. It's a tricky spot right there. Tricky spot right there, because they've got also some unbalanced volume starting at the 86s all the way up. So I mean, it's a little tricky there at the 81s. Not the worst play in the world, but you got some defense behind you. But they could make a run here for the bigger eye on the prize, the 68.90s. Excuse me. I don't think I said that it's unbalanced area. It's just there's a big area for them to balance out, sitting above that 81 that you had told me about. So could very easily play. I mean, the 80s are defended, the 82s are defended, but there's a big unbalanced pocket sitting at the 68.90s, all the way up to where I've got this entry, or I should say this unbalanced volume pocket right here at the 69.01s. So they could make a sweep. They could make a big push. We're just kind of in a no man's land right now on the ES. Only thing I'm kind of confused about when you plot your entry, putting it behind a big Random Barbarian, are you talking about my entries or my stop loss or what behind the big node? So typically I'd like to have my stop loss behind the bigger node, depending on which way price action's coming in from.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not a one. It's not just a one step. That's that's the nuance of this. You have to have all of the steps in order. You have to have the level. Then that level's got to match up with the volume profile. So I'd like to see my entries in front of a big node. I'd like to see the volume profile. Let's say we're taking a short. I don't know. Can I draw this somewhere? That's something I could probably add. Let me see if I can do this without looking like a complete idiot. I've never done this before, so don't judge. How do I get this bigger? I just want to draw. How do I just draw? Not with that. Brushes. Marker. All right. So let's just say volume profile is looking like this. Okay. I would want to have my entry. Let's say we're talking about a short here. I would want to have my entry, which I'll mark it in blue, on this side of volume profile. Okay. And then I want to have my stop on this side of the volume profile. That's my defense. So that's a big pocket of volume previously that that was defended, okay, or at least had a lot of activity in it. So with the theory there being that as we come close to our entry, the closer you are to the defense, the least amount of drawdown, because typically the defense comes in, and on my TPs, I'm looking for where the volume profile on a short goes back to the left, so back inside, again, free flowing. So that would be one, and I would want to have the other one before I see any resistance on the volume profile. So if water was flowing, you'd have a ripple right here because this is my defense for my stop loss, and then water, in theory, I guess, should go down very, very quickly based on the terrain of the volume profile. And again, it starts with mapping out a level, which, let's do this. Don't save that. So let's say you've got price action, right? You've got a candle here. Let's just say this. This is very rudimentary, but so you got an up move, okay? And then you get, for one reason or the other, you get a sharp down move that breaks structure here, okay? Here's a level. This is just a level, okay? So I'll put it in blue. This is a level. These levels form all day long. What you want to do is you want to find a level that makes sense on that volume profile that I was talking about earlier, where it makes sense. And then from the level, you adjust a little bit based on the level 2 data. So I want to see in real time, where are they interested in? And then conversely, to find my TPs, I'm doing this exact same thing. This finding a break of structure, an impulsive move on the 1 minute, which is then, that's why I always say, you know, price action is going to be dancing at this area. We should see a reaction to it. I'm around my TP2 or TP1. Those levels, you got to find, that would be like a TP. I know it should be in green, but that would be like a TP. That would be a level for me on the very low time frame. And that's, so it's not just one aspect of the volume profile or order book or the level. The setups, and that's why I grade them. You know, they have to have all of the deciding factors there for it to equate to an A+ or an A, at least an A setup, in my opinion. Hopefully that makes sense. Yes, Morgan. Yes, absolutely. And again, I mean, I've been saying this for a year, and I don't know how many people do it, but you first got to get very good at the levels, which is mechanical. It's a very mechanical type of strategy because it's very simple rules that you're looking for just to find the basic levels on the 5 and the 15. But you got to get good at that. And then you then have to start mapping your own setups, factoring in the volume profile. Again, if you don't have level 2, I'm sorry, but it's a huge help in this business. And if you don't have all of the tools, it's going to make your job much harder. You know, I had somebody on Discord, I still got to respond to him, that was asking me about the footprint charts on TradingView that don't show the tick data. And he says, can I just equate it to like a 15-second foot chart? No, you can't, because 15 seconds on a footprint chart in a high volume unbalanced area is going to act very different on a 15 second than it's going to based on a 4-range chart or on a 4-range footprint. So no, they don't equate. They might in very low, very easy. I don't even say they might. I mean, it's a coin flip if it's going to be even somewhat similar. So, you know, unfortunately, there's tools that you need, and you know, I guess it all depends on, you know, how much interested you are in, or interested in succeeding in this game. That's a tough one to start. It's a very tough one to start. And I think if you arm yourself with the right tools, you can make it a little bit easier. And I can map out perfect trades. I could map out perfect setups all day long. And if you don't trade them right, like how I completely fumbled that first trade, doesn't mean that you're going to be guaranteed to be profitable. Absolutely, it's a necessity. Now, they have different versions of it. I think somebody commented, I don't know if it was Nordic or someone that commented, Thinkorswim gives you like kind of a watered down version. I haven't seen it, but you know, there's on Ninja, if you've got the volume plus, you know, you can replicate the book map on Ninja. I've shared with you guys the link for that YouTube video, and it looks pretty decent. How did I incorporate the volume? Well, there was a huge impulsive move before that. If you go back on the chart, you'll see the impulsive move to the downside, or yeah, it was an impulsive move. Is it the downside or the upside? I'm confused. To the downside, and it was very clear targets because it was very impulsive, the move down, and I was just expecting the same impulsive move to the upside. They left a lot of unbalanced volume on that impulsive move. So they want to rebalance it. The market wants to conduct its auctions, and it wants to close out its auction at the next point, which my point, I think, was, I mean, I had mapped out like 10 points, and it got you 23. So, I mean, it still blew through the areas that I was even thinking that it had to do. But even in that trade, there was no part of me that was very nervous as far as, you know, what they needed left to be unbalanced, for sure. Yeah, there you go, Mike. Thanks, Random. So, like in my opinion, they well, let's see, they just tapped into the 80s, and their next area that they have to rebalance is going to be the 85s. They got a shit ton of volume to get through right here. But the 85s is going to be where the market... Oh, I'm on the NQ, sorry. They got to tap into the 80s, and then their next big point is going to be the 85s. Sorry, I had the NQ chart up there. And that would finish off their auction of this right here. Be right back. Yeah, Chump Sauce, I don't know if I saw you on stream earlier or not. Not sure if you were able to capture some of those setups, but mapped out 3 of them today, and all 3 were winners. I gotta say, I traded like shit today. A very, very poor day of trading for me in general. Just execution, management was not good at all. But still green for the day, which... I guess is important. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a drop until, but I would think that on the ES we got to probably tap into these 85s. And I'll say it again. This is right here is a death trap right now on the ES. Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it on the stream about 10:30, and we're kind of sitting in no man's land here right now. What I would say is, please, if you haven't, drop a like on the stream. It's the only thing I ask for. On the NQ, we've got to the top side this setup. 26,202, targeting the 197 and the 190s with the stop loss at the 26,211. On the ES, I don't see much besides down here. These are setups that we had. I don't see price action getting down there right now, but 66.71 targeting the 73 and the 75 with a stop at the 65s, and then we've got another long entry at the 66.48 targeting the 51 and the 53. So that's what I see on the ES. But good start to November. I think the trading could have been much better for me personally today, but for those of you on stream that were very smart and just had resting limit orders on all three of those setups, you guys are in the green pretty nicely today, which is great. That's always important too. So if you haven't, drop a like on the stream. There is obviously sales with Apex. Apex is running a really nice sale. If you're interested in getting funded with any of the prop firms that I've got listed up here, just use code TraderRob. I would appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow on stream right at the market open. Take care, everybody.